everybody, welcome to the Social Value Show from the School of Social Value. I am your host, Alan, and today we're going to be continuing to expand on what decision-making looks like in a social value enterprise. But I'm laying up a 5-video series to kind of teach you about how we plan on moving forward with that type of decision-making, all of which is going to be on the backdrop of essentially opportunity-based decision-making. What that means is, as a business, how are we prioritizing the opportunities that are in front of us? How do we choose one opportunity versus another opportunity? And who gets to decide on how that kind of thing gets moved into? With that in mind, the underlying question behind decision-making for a social value enterprise when it comes to opportunities is it going to make the company money? As you all know, a social value enterprise is an enterprise that runs just like any other business, but it's owned by the community, it's run by the community, and the profits are produced for the sake of creating common good, for the sake of creating social value. And so we're just like any other company. When we make decisions, we want to say, are we going to make some money when we move in that direction? Now, that being said, if we do check that box, what are the next things that come into play as we're looking to make a decision? We go back to our core values, go back to our other videos you see on the site, but if just as a little recursor here, we've got love or social value. It's the same concept. Thinking about others is the first and foremost value. Now, of course, that informs growth and impact and profits. We need to make sure that in order to make a difference in our world, we have surplus. But then, does it infringe on anyone's rights? Does it create any negative outcomes? Is it distributing things fairly? Those are always going to be the backdrops of how we look at decision making. But the idea behind this, and it all came to fruition when we recently had a hand sanitizer opportunity come to the company. And it is a great time for us to be looking at this hand sanitizer opportunity and to be using it as a proxy, as a framework, as a place where we can learn how we are now, FruitCraft is now getting into hand sanitizer production and sales, and the reasons and the decisions that went into that. I think it's really important and it's really informative. But besides that specific opportunity, the goal of all of this, at the end of the day, is to make an organization that has dozens and dozens of people in decision-making roles who are able to look at an idea, to look at an opportunity, to say, you know what, I think this is going to be meaningful for the company, and for them to take that project on themselves, to take it to completion, to have it result in company value being created. And ultimately, we just don't want bottlenecking to take place. We don't want to work in an environment that slows down the productivity, and we want to create good systems that support that. So this is going to continue to be the guide rails, to be the bumper lanes, as it were, for us as we continue to consider how to validate an opportunity like this. And once again, in a perfect world, the decision makers would be a plethora of them, right? And that's the goal here, is how do we reward people who are making great decisions? How do we give them more credit as they go about being successful in their decision-making recommendations? And how do we do it in a way that there's no personality, there's no favoritism, there's just pure, objective meritocracy that makes it so that anyone who actually can provide said value gets the resources they need and the energy required to make it turn profit for the company. So in the next 4 videos, we're going to be using that hand sanitizer opportunity as a proxy. We're going to kind of establish in the next one here, how do we validate whether an idea is a good idea? And so stay tuned for the next video. It's going to be exciting. The ones right after that are going to be all along the same ideology as well. Thanks so much for watching. As always, remember to do good and to share with others. Cheers.